Hello, this is Carrie O'Donnell from Tarot Soul Writer Live. And hello to all the people in the chat who are starting to show up. So let's take a look here. We've got Kesha. Hi, Kesha. Pegasus, who's going to join on the backside. American Us. Easily Amused. I love that name. Celtic Seer. Juliana. Maria. Oh, I'm sorry, Marie. Rhonda. LLC. Julie V, Susan, Flower, Pam, Chrissy, Marjorie, Janie, the Diane Brewer, Cozy Mystery Writer. Good stuff. I hope I didn't miss anyone. But if I did, welcome anyway. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited to be here. So, yeah, strange story. Live is not where I feel most comfortable. I haven't done a live since October. I can do lives, but I like the interaction of being with other readers. So I kind of felt that being by myself wasn't really my thing. And that's why I started to really focus on the videos and really enhancing the soul writing practice. But I'm trying to get that 2020 project documentary done and edited. And my guides have been really pushing me, pushing. We want to get this documentary out right before the election. I feel like that's an important timeline. So I think doing weekly lives are really going to help me to answer your questions, albeit I won't be doing soul writing in the traditional sense. These will be straight up tarot readings, psychic readings in a traditional sense, but at least we're touching base and we're getting your questions answered. So if you have questions today, please put them in all caps in the chat and I will star them as they come in. Otherwise, I am going to work on the questions from last Friday. So I might start from there until some questions come in through the chat. So let's see where we can start. And I don't mean to start with such a dark subject matter, but many people wanted to know about Iran and what was also going on in with the Israel-Palestinian conflict that is happening right now. So one of the first questions that I think we can start with is, will Netanyahu be gone soon? And does he also have ties to Putin? So let's take a look at this. Netanyahu. Okay. Yeah, I do feel he's going to be gone soon, to be honest. Let me see if I can get a timeline here. I felt, and I can't remember which month it was, it might have been October in the 2024 videos, but I did feel that he was either starting a lot of hubbub, going against maybe a promise or an agreement, and that there may have been, for entertainment purposes only, some attempts on his life, or a sense that people were going after him in some way to get him out of power. So let's see if I can get a timeline. This is looking like his days are definitely numbered. Yahoo. Oh, interesting. All right. 3 months from now. I don't know if you can see that. 3 months from now. That brings us to that summer period where I saw a lot of things just really chaotic. It's Judgment Day for him. Okay, Judgment Day. We're going to be pretty happy, or we're going to be celebrating. I feel like See, I pulled this magician reversed, which is kind of like my dark magician card. So I kind of get the sense that he's going to try to, I don't know, recreate himself or hide in plain sight or find a way to resurrect just when people are trying to get him out. He's definitely trying to manipulate things in a darker way with this card. But the outcome here is the Four of Swords, a sense of retirement, a sense of having to go away. This could even be one of my jail cards, for a sense that he's going to be put in isolation. And the clarifier, not good. Three of Swords. Three of Swords. So he's done. He's caused too much heartache. And another clarifier here, the Three of Cups is reversed. Now, I know a lot of people could interpret that as not celebrating, but this is also my card that means termination. So if I put these three cards together, he's put in isolation. This is the end for him, and termination. Any of that dark magician kind of energy gets stopped. They're saying 3 months from now. So this is that summer chaotic period, that time when I feel like Trump's in trouble and Putin is on his way out or is gone. So yeah, summertime. Does he have ties to Putin? Well, let me just ask. We'll see what's going on with that one. Putin. Netanyahu. Not directly, I'm getting, but where I get a connection has something to do with dark money, with the King of Pentacles reversed. So I guess that would have to be a form of a yes, like there's ties, yes. But I'm not getting this as a direct partnership. It's kind of funny. I feel like with this darker money or with some sort of flow of abundance here, that last card makes me feel like the ties with Putin, like it's like that side isn't happy. So whoever's funding this money to him through, I guess you could say Putin or Russia, I'm sort of feeling like they're not happy with him. So that I find that's really interesting. So even his so-called darker allies are not very pleased with him right now. Let's take a look and see if any questions have come through that I haven't noticed. Hello, everyone who's just joining us. I've got one here. All right. Let's actually go to Kesha's question, because that kind of is a good segue into this. Who is the holder of the dark money that's influencing world events? Let's take a look at that, since I am getting not a direct tie with Putin, with Netanyahu, sort of this indirect money flow. So let's take a look. Who's behind that? I do have my Putin card, so that shows up, we'll know. Who is the holder of the dark money? It's a group of 3. That's what I'm getting. One of them is a younger man. Honestly, I'm getting a Saudi Arabia kind of vibe here. Maybe that's the prince. Again, for entertainment purposes only, what do I know? But I kind of feel that Saudi is one of the 3. Here is that dark corruption kind of money. I feel like it's definitely Russia, okay, or Putin and the oligarchs there. I want to say Russia even more than Putin. Who's the third? I feel like I'm getting two entities here, even though they're saying three, because I feel like both of this, the third partnership is, I want to say China, like there's some influence from China, but they're like playing two sides of a fence. That's why I feel like they're going in and out, that third one. So I guess that makes sense because I feel like China financially is going on, they're two-faced. So they might have their hand here at times, and then when it serves them, they have their hands, believe it or not, with the NATO allies. It's what serves them. So they might be the third. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm getting. There is a triangle, and Iran keeps popping into my head, but I don't feel like they're the big financer. But they might be. They might be more of a receiver of dark money as well, or corrupt money, is what we should say. All right, let's see what else is coming up here. All right, let's look at Raven's question, and then I'll see if I can star some more. Raven asks, if Trump is mentally unable to understand his trials due to a health event, then how as a nation can we heal if he won't be aware of his convictions, if they even happen, especially January 6th? Okay, how are we able to heal? Take a look at that. Can we heal? All right. Part of our healing and coming together here with the Lover's card. So this is a sense of coming together, two sides. And I feel that that could be the Republicans, Democrats, or just how our nation is split. And our coming together is really based on truth, right? Knowing the truth. When the sun shines on the truth to us, that seems to be when we can heal and come together. It's almost like his awareness, Trump's awareness of his crimes and his awareness of his punishment here. It's almost like irrelevant whether he's aware or not to our overall healing process. It's about shining truth. And the next card is the fighting card. I think that that's that J6 energy going to storm the Capitol, as you can kind of see in that card. And as the sun shines on that and we learn the truth of the players, I have the nostalgia card, in the outcome. And it's funny because there's two ways I can read this. One, we can all look back at the times when we were together, when things weren't this messed up. Yeah, we had our problems, but not like this, not the fact that we have coups happening in our country. But the other thing that I'm getting from this is taking off those rose-colored glasses and seeing things for what they are. And I think that is going back to the truth. I'm also getting this theft of money and just feeling like, oh my goodness, there's so much that was taken from us, like financially, is what I'm getting, is part of the truth. And the emotions around women, again, with this Queen of Cups reverse and how messed up that got. These are some big, big issues that are going to be brought to the front. And that's what initiates our healing. It's the truth. It's being able to know that all of this happened. And that's what heals us, being able to reckon with the past. And his understanding or not really isn't, I guess, it really doesn't matter. That's the sense that I'm getting spiritually. All right. Let's just take a look. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kesha. That's so sweet. All right, let's star some more. Just bear with me since I'm all by myself. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see. Oh, okay, here's one. And thank you for putting your questions in all caps. It's really helping me a lot. Because it is kind of hard to do this when you're all by yourself. Kesha had one more question. Okay, so here's some. I'm looking for those all caps. All right. So let's see what we got here. I've been wondering about this, easily amused. Will Citizens United be overturned in 2025? A lot of people, a lot of knowledgeable people with the law and who really look at politics and our history in general will say that Citizens United is one of the pinnacle events that really messed up our country so many ways and kind of put it over the top for the problems that we're having right now. So let's take a look at Citizens United. That's a good one. Citizens United. All right, let's see if I can get a timing on this. I do get something happening, but I'm not sure if it's in 2025. I'm getting a sense that this is going to take a little bit of time. All right. The first thing that I am getting underneath this situation with Citizens United is this I kind of get as tarnished beauty. It's one of my symbols for when just things are not the same as they used to be for the worse. So that's really the energy that Citizens United brought to our country. It has put everything out of balance. And I kind of feel an answer to this question of being overturned that we're really out of balance with votes. We don't really have that yet. So that's a problem. But we know it's a mistake in the near future. And it's funny that this is my mistake card, but it is a page, which makes me feel like younger people. By younger, I kind of want to say under 30. I kind of want to say that. So that generation of under 30 years old seems to have a real fight for that, seems to be pushing that toward the forefront, even more than people over 30. And I get for a while, it sleeps, kind of goes underground. It's like, we need to think about this. We need to reflect on this. And there are people who want to walk away from this, even as the administration turns, and even as I do see Biden as the next president, all right, it seems like they're walking away from it. I don't want to touch this yet, or I can't touch this yet. This probably has to do with how our own country is infused with dark money as well. I mean, we have that infused as well. We need to come full circle in some way as a nation and I think it's by full circle, they mean we really need to examine what happened in the past. We need to begin fixing some things in our structure, okay, in our, I guess, the bones of our government before we can really get to this. And it might have to do with the court as well. The Supreme Court has to change. It has to evolve. There are things that need to be done before we can get to that part. But there is a sense we will. with that world card. We are going to come full circle. And my timing card said within 5 years. So 2025 might be a little too soon. I think that's when we're really just trying to sort through everything. But within a 5-year period, by 2029, yeah, we're going to examine it enough. And I do feel like it would be overturned. So that's what I'm getting for that. All right, let's take a look here. Oh, you guys are so nice. Thank you, Juliana. I so appreciate that. And Raven, thank you so much. And Catherine, thank you. You are all so very generous. I really appreciate you. All right, let's take a look at what else we have here. Let's look at Lynette, or D Lynette. Will Ruby Freeman and her daughter ever get paid by Giuliani? Oh my goodness, I know. Every time I think about Ruby Freeman, I am just so infuriated. It's just so scary. You can just be like this normal person with a house and a business and living your life, and something like that happens. It's amazingly horrifying, really. See if they'll ever get money from Giuliani. This is kind of a yes/no kind of question. Will they ever get paid by Giuliani? Yes. And I get that with this being in the outcome, but it's a page. It's like little news, little bits. Frankly, he's broke. Here he is, the King of Pentacles reverse. Not only is this a symbol for this man is broke, but this is also my symbol for corrupt money. So whatever money he did have was corrupt. It was being fed through the wrong channels. And those channels are going to be shut off for him. So therefore, he's going to have nothing left. But I do get, well, I should start with this card because there is a strong protest here. And then I get justice is reversed. Like justice doesn't, people are protesting like they deserve something. And it doesn't look like justice is going in their direction at first. But as part of that outcome, they find something. There is some sort of release from pain here. And I think it has to do with just a little bit, whatever little bit they can squeeze from him, whatever little bit he has left, whatever little bit they can find from him. Yes, whatever that is, they will get. Is it exactly what they should have gotten or what the court said that he needs to pay them? I'm going to say no, just because those streams of money have been cut off. And he's broke. I'm actually getting that he's broke. But there's going to be something for them, some kind of justice. And I really feel like it's going to come from an outcry from the public. Like they deserve something. All right. Before I go on to the next question, let me see what other kind of questions we have here. I'm going to just star a few. If you can put them in all caps, that would be great so I can find them quickly. Yeah, all caps. Definitely. And I think Kesha just reminded everybody of that too, because it's a lot easier to find. And I'm just moving my way up here. And lots of questions coming in, which is awesome. So let me get some. Oh, here's another one. I'm so sorry if I missed one or two, because it's hard to do this when I'm actually reading. When I'm reading, I have to kind of go into that zone. So, all right. So that gave me a bunch of them. All right. And if I missed yours, I apologize. And I can't remember. Did I say thank you for Catherine? If I didn't, thank you so much. I saw it here and then it's still here. So I may have said thank you, but I'm going to just say thank you one more time. All right. So let's see what we got here. Let's go to Janie's question because it was already touched upon about how we would get justice if he had a health event. I, in my 2024 videos, did see Trump with some sort of a health event. I keep seeing it. But what I'm going to do is I'll lay out some cards and we'll see if we're still getting that I have in the past. Let's take a look at Trump and any kind of health event. Yeah. I feel yes. I still get this. I still do get this. First comes the loss of his money or his legacy. All right, with the 10 of Pentacles reversed. So I feel like that comes first. We've already seen part of that because of the E. Jean Carroll case. He's being liquidated. I really feel like that may be coming in the future. And then I get my Four of Swords. This can be one of my illness cards. It can be a card of isolation. And one of the things that I'm getting is almost being trapped in his own mind, in his own head. I feel like trapped. It's like I'm trapped in a box. This is what's so hard. Every time I get this image, it's either I've lost my money and that maybe I'm put in some sort of physical isolation and I'm starting to lose my mind, or I'm having something like a stroke or some kind of physical event that kind of traps my physical body. That's why I feel like I'm in a box and I'm just trapped in my own head. I'm sorry, it does feel like a health event to me. Um, and there's still just a lot of frustration and anger. I can't do anything. And I'm out of control. Maybe he's having a psychotic break because there is a lot of energy here of being out of control. I've lost it completely. Maybe that's the energy that makes him have the health event. I've lost my money. They're going to try to put me in isolation. I'm going to blow a gasket. And I do still keep getting that. So that's the prediction I'm going with 45. I don't really see him getting to the end. I know that's horrible. Let me just get rid of this one. I don't see him getting there. All right, let's see where else we can go. All right, let's try this one with Pamela. Will the J6 trial happen even if Trump is incapacitated? If not, will we ever know the evidence? Well, in that previous reading that we just did, I do feel, yes, we are going to know the evidence. Like, I feel like I don't need to read that again. That was part of our healing, knowing the truth. So it's all going to come out about J6. But let's just ask if a trial will actually happen. Because one of the things I'm not 1000% sure of is the timeline of which trial is flipping Trump over the edge to where he's out of the election. I mean, is it this trial that they're going through with Stormy? Is it going to be a J6 trial? Are we even going to get to the J6 trial? So let's take a look. The J6 trial is going to happen. All right. I think that this event that I keep seeing is going to happen before the J6 trial or during it. I don't get it completed. It seems like we've been very patient. We've been waiting, waiting, waiting. Here's the star card and the American card. I kind of get this card for America. America perseveres. We find some balance. We're ready to go. Here is Jack Smith, my Knight of Rods. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. We're here we go. And then the outcome. My Page of Swords reverse. This is my symbol for something that comes out of the blue. Like we didn't expect it. Like, holy cow. 10 of Swords. It's like, oof. That something comes out of the blue and it's over. Like we're not moving with this. And then I have my Magician reverse. We don't have everything that we need to kind of get this going. And I think this thing that's coming out of the blue, honestly, I feel like this is in my gut. Like, even though I know Eileen Cannon is throwing all kinds of unexpected things at us, and she still probably will, I feel like what I'm feeling right now is what we're not expecting. It has something to do with Trump himself. It has to do with this event. I feel like it's almost like we didn't expect what's going to happen to him or how it's going to happen. Maybe we have in our mind how it's going to happen, but I feel like it's like, whoo, didn't see that one coming. And that's the feeling that I'm getting. I'm not feeling like this trial is either going to be completed or is going to be off the ground. But it's not, this is what I have to stress. It's not like it's going to make a difference, because if something happens to Trump in a way that he physically can't be put on trial anymore, it doesn't matter, because that evidence is still going to come out. Okay, so it's still going to come out. It's going to come out through other people's trials. That's what I just saw. There are going to be people in Congress that are going to go through trials. There are going to be, like, there are other people who are going to be held accountable for J6. So it doesn't matter if Trump is held accountable, if he's here or not. I'm getting a sense he's just not able to stand trial, or he's just not here. But it's through these other people, because there are so many other people involved. That's how we get to know everything. That's how we learn the truth. That's how we're healing. That's how we're coming together. All right. So I am getting that. All right. What else do we got? Let's go to this one with joy. Will we see a new Supreme Court judges added in the next year or so? Now, I just did a video on the Supreme Court. You might want to check that out. I had in that video 3 justices that would be leaving, or would be added, I should say, because I got that Thomas's days are numbered and someone's going to replace Thomas. I did feel like Kavanaugh's days are numbered and they're going to be replacing him. I kept getting a third person, and I kind of felt like it could be Robert. That's the person they kept showing me that could be having some issues, even though I do know there are other justices that might want out. I'm sorry, though. The one person I never really get is Alito. I never get him like exiting or being pushed out. It's almost like they don't have the goods on him. All right, let me just double check, though. Will we see a new Supreme Court in the next year or so? It's a definite yes. Let me see if I can just get a timeline. I feel like this is going in pieces. All right. There is definitely a shakeup in the courts right around the election time. I didn't expect that. Like, it would be like right before the election, like in an October situation. Um, so that could be the first one. It might be that we hear of either someone steps down right before the election or makes a retirement announcement, maybe kind of like Mitch McConnell. I do get someone, it's either right before, but they're leaving after the election. So I do get a change up there. And the answer to the question overall is a definitely yes. Look at that judgment card too, which does go along with the courts. Here's the 3 with the 4 of cups. There's the 3 that I saw. And then there's another kind of offer out there. Maybe one that feels kind of unknown. I wonder if that's an addition. I wonder if they add one. There's like 3 changing, and then do we want to add one? That's interesting. So yes, I'm wondering if they're going to add one more seat to the court. And actually that would make sense because, and you can say in the chat, but I think that would be equal to like the lower courts if you added one more chair. And so that would make sense. So that's something they're going to be considering, but I feel like that's a little bit down the road. But yes, gradually starting with the election turn, they are going to slowly be adding seats. So yeah, it might take a few years. It might take like a whole election cycle, maybe even a little bit beyond. Because there are a lot of discussions around this, a lot of changes with the Supreme Court that need to be discussed and hashed out, especially with that 4th seat. That 4th seat seems kind of unknown, but I feel like that would be an add-on. So yeah, thank you for that question because I haven't really read on it that way. And that kind of added a whole new way of thinking about it. All right. See what else we have. I'm going to take this one because who is beyond the pipe bomb at January 6th? And will MTG be held accountable for her part? Let's just look at MTG first. And then I'll see if I can get a handle on who the pipe bomber was. I know a lot of people associate MTG with the pipe bomber. I'm not 100% convinced that she is the one. It's just something that was never connected with my guides. Like they never made that connection for me. But let me just ask about MTG's accountability for J6. Let's just start there. MTG. Will she be held accountable? Yes, and it's related to money is how she's going to be held accountable. There was some secrets with the emperor. Now, we could say the emperor could be a Trump or a Putin type figure or both. I feel like they're interchangeable. But she was taking orders from a man who was definitely in control. So it could be Trump. And she was doing things behind the scenes. And there was some sense that she owes a debt to them. All right. So in some way, she was dealing with the men with the money and that she owes a debt to them. So this feels very, all right, this is what I'm seeing right now. You know that scene from The Godfather where the Godfather is like saying, like, I'll do a favor for you and someday you will be called upon to do a favor for me kind of scene. They're showing me that scene. Like I'm seeing Marlon Brando with a cat. So I think what they're trying to say is there was something that she needed from them in which she took something from them, whether that was being able to stay in political power, personal money, something like that. There was something she took, but now she owes a favor. And it's related to, I think J6 was the favor. Like, there's something that you need to do for us now. And so I do get that she's held accountable, and she's held accountable through the money. So they're going to follow the money to her. So it's going to be about her either helping to fund this horrible event or taking money that's like foreign money or that type of thing. And that way she's held accountable. So I think that's the goods that they have on her. Let me just ask, who is behind the pipe bomber? Who is behind the pipe bomber? This is weird. Here's my pipe bomber. He's the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords, I mean, even in this picture, kind of looks male, I guess. But I know in many cases the Page of Swords can be a female. There's like a real androgynous kind of thing happening. And the page is usually a younger person. My first inclination was that the person who was the pipe bomber was a male. That was my first inclination here. But the person is a younger person. I wonder if they mean literally a page, like someone who worked for someone else, because I do get a woman here, and I get a woman like this person, this younger person worked for the woman. I don't think this is MTG though. She's not the Queen of Hearts. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Queen of Cups. I guess that's the same thing. I don't see her in that way. But this bomber worked for someone else, and I think it's a he worked for a woman. And there's corrupt money here, a corrupt money that was funneled to this person. Yeah, I'm getting it's not, this person was not the mastermind. There was someone behind this person, kind of said, you have to, you work for me. I kind of feel like that woman could be someone in the Trump family, honestly. I don't know if it's Ivanka or someone who just worked for the family, but was kind of in charge. But I get a connection to the Trump family with that Queen of Cups. Yeah, so that's what I'm getting there. All right, I'm just going to look at I haven't looked at the chat. You know what? I'm so sorry. Sometimes I get just caught up in my reading, and then I'm like, where am I? All right. So let's take a look. People want to know about the love child, huh? We'll have to look at that. Maybe we'll look at that one next. Let me see if I missed any others. Well, that's a good question, too. So many good questions and so little time. What are we going to do? Just my list of questions just get bigger and bigger. All right. I'm kind of curious about the whole love child thing. So let's take a look at that. And I think someone else asked this question too. So Kathy B, does Trump have a love child? And if so, will we hear about it? It's a good question. I've never read on this before. I was like, this would be interesting, even though I know it's kind of like gossip. But does Trump have a love child? Hmm. I'm getting more than one, actually. Yikes. I'm getting three. What the heck? Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm getting like three. Um, I mean, look at this. I mean, look at the affairs. You've got like the dark secret, the hidden children related to sex and women. It was related. I have one from what I feel is a real relationship, like from the woman's point of view, that she felt like she had a real emotional relationship with Trump. Like it wasn't just sex. Um, and I'm getting that woman here, like really trying to stand up in this relationship and say, hey, my child is important. So there's at least one child here that I guess you would consider the love child, meaning not from him because he's incapable of love. I really do believe that. But I feel like from the woman's point of view that there was some connection for her. But yeah, with this Three of Cups, the partying and all of that, but I'm getting three women that have produced children. It's like a club. And he's walked away from these women. But there's some sense of wrestling the tiger, or, I'm sorry, the lion, being strong. And I feel like this is an answer to, yes, we are going to hear about it. Now, we might hear about it after the fact when he's no longer here. Maybe that's when some things come out, the things that were hidden. But I feel like the charge is being led by one particular woman with a child where she felt like she was wronged in some way or had some emotional connection. So, yeah, I'm getting three women, three children that are out there. That is crazy. Thank you for that one. Getting into the little bit of gossip right there. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, Jim Jordan, easily amused. Yeah, Jim Jordan. I haven't really looked on him in a while, too. So let's take a look. You have Ohio State and those consequences. And then you have J6. So I'm going to put down cards on both events in Jordan and see if he is going to be held accountable. Jordan. Ohio State. J6. I am Ohio State. I kind of feel there's going to be a lot of frustration. My young people card is reversed. It's a sense of dropping the ball, or we made some mistakes with trying to nail him. There's a lot of frustration here. He does feel his defenses are down, but there is some sense that he's sort of locked that down a little bit. Like I don't get direct consequences for the Ohio State crimes, at least in a court of law. It feels like maybe in the court of public opinion, but I don't feel like that's where they get him. J6 is different though. All right, with Jim Jordan. Here are all the secrets that are underneath the situation, and it's about legacy and money and building up some sort of wealth legacy for himself. I feel Jim Jordan with this card had a lot of lofty ideas. I feel like he thought he was going to be rich in this new world he was creating, that he would have been seen as some sort of hero or great leader to the MAGA people. I guess those are his people. But I think those are the feelings around J6. But when I look at the outcome, the United States is coming down on him. He's losing a lot of hope. It's like he knows he's nailed. There's some deep depression here. And here is, I kind of feel like that J6 card, that sense of, you've been part of this. The fact that he's losing hope. I do get some sort of connection here with the J6. And I feel like that's what's going to come out for him. That's where we're going to see justice for him. Unfortunately, for the Ohio State crimes, I don't even know if he can even be tried, but I get it's more of the court of public opinion where we hear stories and we get the justice, but he's not going to jail for anything he did with Ohio State. At least I'm not getting that right now. All right. Getting close to the end. So let's see. Let's try this one. Haley, will abortion being on the ballot in Arizona, Florida, and Nevada help Biden and Dems win these states in November? Let's take a look. I think Biden just went down to Florida just recently concerning the abortion situation. Help Biden and the Dems win these states. I'm going to take each state. They're just telling me take each state separate. So I'm going to do that. Because I feel like it might not go in favor. Like all these states will go in his favor. I'm actually not getting that. So I'm just trying to see what the differences are. Yeah, Florida is the problem. Okay. I'm getting Arizona. New start here, new beginning. I feel like they are going to that whole 18 whatever law, whatever that was, that's gone. That's going to be gone. And I do get Arizona turning blue. So I do feel this abortion situation, especially what's going on in Arizona, not only are they going to overturn that, the people are going to speak, but Biden's work here, it's going to help as far as representation and going for Biden. I'm seeing it going blue. Nevada, same thing. Although a little bit different. I get the power of the people, with Arizona, like, oh, hell no. Like I get that kind of energy. But I'm getting the devil card here in Nevada, ironically enough. There's a lot of uprooting of money that's deep down corrupt money that's going to be uprooted here in Nevada around this whole abortion issue. A lot of people who are emotionally upset. I get a lot of just a lot of emotion and not knowing where to channel it. So maybe in the state, they appear less organized, or it takes more time to get through these corrupt money channels. But I do see Nevada going blue. Here's the success card here. So again, the abortion issue does help the state of Nevada to move more in the Democratic favor. I don't get that for Florida right now. I do get the women and the relationships and the emperor. So it's kind of like I'm trying to control women's relationships still in that state. And then you have some sort of theft here. It's interesting that that's the woman card. It's in the negative. There is some sense of stealing the issue, stealing from the people. And so I do feel like Florida is still in the red column. And even though people are upset in Florida about the abortion issue, that emperor is trying to control that situation. That emperor, I'm assuming, is the governor, DeSantis, and maybe the ties that he brings into that state. So it's like he steals that freedom away. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to help in Florida. So I think that's why they wanted to take it separate. So that's kind of like not a black and white kind of issue. All right. I only have like 4 minutes left. Kind of would love a nice concluding question. Let's see if something kind of came up. I think I have an idea of what I wanted to ask. Someone had kind of asked this, and we can do a riff on that. I just want to double check if there's a good concluding question here. So, all right, let's go with this one. And it's Mary C's. And she says, when Trump is no longer relevant, what will replace him in the headlines? Which is kind of interesting. So let's take a look. When he's no longer relevant, whenever that time may be, who will replace him in the headlines? Who will replace him? What will the headlines be about? I'm getting a number of things. First thing that I'm getting, and just so you know, there's a lot of headlines, okay? So I'm getting an abundance of headlines. An abundance of headlines is kind of what they're saying. The first thing I get are blocks to justice. How it's so funny. He's like no longer relevant, but we're still hearing about him. That's the only way I can explain it. Maybe the media is still trying to keep him relevant, but the first thing I'm getting is how he's blocked things, how the Trump years blocked things, and sort of tarnished our nation, tarnished the idealism of our nation, kind of blocked that. I'm getting documentaries, I'm getting films. I know that you're saying news headlines, but they're kind of showing maybe this still is part of the headlines about all these stories coming out and people telling their stories. That's still for years and years. I kind of feel like this is going to be, it's going to take us a while to process. I do get headlines here with a younger person who was dishonest. So these are, I shouldn't say younger person. Younger is relevant, really. I would say a person who is younger than Trump. It's his kids. That's who it is. It's the kids. Because I'm getting one generation under Trump. So Trump's children are going to still be in the headlines. You just want to make Trump irrelevant, like that, just the whole name, but it's going to take us a while. We're going to see in the headlines ways in which we're all coming back to America. You know how like they had that saying, make America great again? I kind of feel like we're coming full circle to examine who we are as Americans. And there's something about the headlines about how Americans are coming back, in a sense, to seeing our country as one whole people, or something to that effect. I'm getting a circle. So this must be headlines about how we're coming back together. I am also getting some leaders who I would consider dictators in the world who are going to come crashing down after Trump is no longer relevant, and there will still be headlines as these leaders are sort of falling or just reduced in power. So we have that as well. And then I have headlines about our security, our national security. Our defenses are down. Maybe that's related to these men, powerful men or dictators in the world. So there's going to be a lot of headlines about our national security and how we can strengthen our nation. strengthen our nation against these corrupt or authoritarian figures. So yeah, it's a lot of different things, but I think it's going to be about the aftermath, how we process the Trump years, how we strengthen our nation so that this doesn't happen again, strengthen against authoritarianism, and how we kind of come back home in a sense to like, who are we? And how can we embrace each other again? There will be a lot of different headlines and stories about that. So yeah, so I'm getting that. Thank you so much, Mary. So I've hit time, and I just want to thank everyone for showing up. We'll try to make this a weekly event. That's my goal. There might be a few things that, I can't do, like a few Wednesdays, but for the most part, I think we'll be fine. And yeah, I'll try to get as many questions out this way as possible between now and the election. And yeah, I'm still going to squeeze in a few little short videos here and there that are more soul writing, and try to get those going. But yeah, it's been a busy time. So thank you so much for putting up with me and my weirdness during the live. So I was thinking about how I wanted to end, and I wanted to end with just a little bit of music, because I just feel like it's time to get our vibrations up. So I want you to leave, and I want you to remember to be happy, to be joyous. Things happen in your life, and to know that this too shall pass. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you soon.